Here at SUNY Fredonia, athletes come from close and far away. Many just looking to stay closer to home, while others looking to experience a whole new life. Due to SUNY Fredonia oftentimes being overlooked, whether financially or academically, I wanted to look into why athletes choose to come here from hundreds and even thousands of miles away. During this process, I got to interview Isaiah Youngquist, a guard on the men's basketball team from DeKalb, Illinois. I also got to interview Haley Thompson from the women's swimming and diving team from Prince George, British Columbia. I also got to interview Alyssa Sabato, a women's soccer midfielder from Gilbert, Arizona. Then I got to have a talk with Tucker Schwab, a first baseman on the Fredonia baseball team from Tampa, Florida. And finally, I got to hear what it's like being halfway across the world with Alon Heimovitz, a guard on the men's basketball team from Herzliya, Israel.
Yeah, being here in Fredonia is a little lifestyle change, to say the least, but it's a good change. It's different, but it's a good different. I have always played basketball. My first word was ball, and it's just always been instilled in me because it was a way to kind of keep me out of trouble in a way. So any sport that was, being played at that moment in time, it was just, like Isaiah, go do it. Go, get out as much as you can while you can. And basketball has just stuck with me the most because that's just the one that I just felt like was the easiest to play. You don't need anybody to go play catch with you. You don't need anybody to go do this or that with you. You just grab a ball, go dribble, go shoot, do whatever you need to do. So, that's what drew me to it. I find being a student athlete rewarding, even though it's a little bit more difficult at times. You understand that people hold you to a higher standard sometimes, and that's not always a bad thing. Like, people are on you sometimes. Yes, they're lenient, but they also understand that, like your coaches, for instance, they're like, oh yeah, you need to get these type of grades in order to play. So it keeps you on your P's and Q's, really engaged and actively learning. So it might be hard at times to keep up with all the work in school and also putting in time in the gym, but at the same time, as long as you're doing good in them books, everything will fall into place.
So I've done sports my entire life. I used to do cross-country skiing and swimming, but the workload's kind of got a little too much. So I've been swimming since I was around 5, and it's always been something I've had during school. So it kind of made sense to continue pursuing it after high school, and it was kind of a comfort. I think of it as more rewarding because there's a lot of things that I think I wouldn't be able to do because I'm a student athlete. And there's also obviously some challenges, like you're waking up early or you have some extra things to do in the day. But it's a guaranteed family as well, especially if you're away from home like I am. So I know no matter what, I always have friends. I'm not too worried about that, but yeah, that's my favorite part. I liked the swim team. I came here on a visit in last February, and they're all so nice, and I could tell they were all really close. And I liked how small the team was, because that meant I could have more time with the coach. And I just liked the small town it was in. I thought it wasn't too chaotic.
I got recruited. I reached out to him, and then I came on a visit and committed pretty soon after, because I don't think I would have been able to adjust as well if I didn't have as close of a team as I do. So they're a huge part of it. We're really close. So yeah, it's also a smaller town because Phoenix is very big. So I noticed the small town culture is a lot different than what I'm used to, but I've been loving it. So I did a lot of different sports when I was little, but then when I was 8, I really started focusing on soccer, and that's all I've ever played since.
What really drew me to Fredonia was my visit. I took a visit with Coach Basil, and he was very welcoming, and I was like, okay, this is probably where I want to end up, and that's where I ended up, so now I'm here. So since I was about 6 years old, I started playing football and baseball at the same time. Fell in love with football, and kind of played football my whole life, and it was my favorite sport, but I was just also good at baseball. But as I got older, matured a little bit, I started to fall in love with baseball a lot more. So I would have to just say the environment, like the people that I know here, like my teammates, they're very welcoming, like especially when I got here, because I didn't know anyone coming into the school, and I think they're a big aspect of it. And my coaches, they always have my back, and everyone else on the campus, like I got a bunch of other friends that don't even play baseball, so it's a good environment to be here, and I enjoy it a lot. It's definitely not easy, especially with the academic aspect, keeping up with your grades, especially in the season. It's a lot harder, but I think it's definitely worth it because, I don't know, my whole life, I just like working hard and being able to be part of a team, which that's the best part of it, so, yeah.
So what mainly drew me to Fredonia was Coach Smiley and the Fredonia alumni that is also called Alon, that is a good friend of mine, and a great opportunity to play basketball on collegiate level. When I was probably 3 or 4 years old, you know, like that age, like my mom, she's running marathons, and my dad, he used to be a swimmer, so I felt like sports was always in my family, and since I'm a little kid, I was going to, you know, like play basketball, soccer, tennis, swimming, like, you know, just like trying out in all the sports. And I think when I was 4 or 5, like heading towards elementary school, like I just told my mom, like when I'm like something very like innocent, but I told my mom like I love basketball more than anything else. So like, you know, like I don't want to go to tennis, I don't want to go to handball, I don't want to go to swimming. And I really stick with the basketball. And over the years, I had struggles, and mostly things that are not even related to basketball. And the fact that I had the basketball as a place that I could go back to, and, you know, like deal with my problem, just do what I do. Sometimes even, you know, I don't even need to say anything. I just show up and do something that makes me so happy. And it pretty much gave me the life that I always wanted. You know, brought me to America, helped me see the world, meet new people, learning about myself. And I think basketball, like a lot of other sports, is probably the greatest metaphor in life. And it's a skill I'm happy I learned.